So good afternoon to Ms. Rani and my fellow classmates. So my name is Shafika and these are my roommates, Anya, Elo, and Trina. So we'll be presenting our topic for this presentation. So, alright, so we were all made to choose media conglomerates, right? So I know we've all done research on this, but just as a refresher, media conglomerates are basically corporations that are just involved in just about everything. So they are involved in films, music, print, and some are even involved in theme parks businesses. So you guys want to guess what ours is? Alright, so we'll give you a clue. So there's TriStar, there's Columbia, there's Animax, Sony Ericsson, and the Space Station. So anyone have any idea? Sony. Right, so yeah, basically it's Sony. Alright, so from the top 6 media conglomerates that exist, Sony is actually the only Asian conglomerate that's basically on top. But Sony wasn't always known as Sony. Sony was actually founded in 1946 and it was known as Tokyo Sushin Kogyo. It was founded by two gentlemen, Masaru Ibuka and Akio Morito. Basically, it was just a very small company and run by a very small number of employees. So they were basically very dedicated to their employers, the Ibuka and Morito. So, you guys have any idea what was actually the first item that was created? I guess not. So actually the first item that was created was actually this rice cooker. It was basically a trial and error period, and what they came up with was a rice cooker. And that wasn't really a success, but that really cemented Sony's status as this electronic giant. And that particular rice cooker is actually now on display in the Sony Museum in Japan. So the two founders felt that they really needed to market Sony better, and from that they actually tried to Romanize the name, which they took the two root words Sonic and Sony and it later became Sony. So in 1960, Sony Corporation of America was founded and it became the first company that actually traded stocks in the New York Stock Exchange. So from there we know there are very distinct differences between Sony Japan and Sony Corporation of America, where Sony Japan, they handle things such as the electronic and gaming parts, where we know as PlayStation and PSPs, whereas Sony Corporation of America, they handle the entertainment business, meaning films and businesses. So the management approach operates in a way where each business reports directly to Sony Japan. So either if you're a big or a small company in America, you have to report directly to the executive vice president that's in Japan, so that everyone is basically in the loop. So Sony also uses vertical integration strategy, meaning a company wholly maximizes all its influence under the same value chain. Sony was one who created this equipment. So basically, it falls under the same line. So in such a way, it reduces the middleman and it brings more revenue to the company itself. And Sony also practices contingency approach, which means that every problem that arises is actually handled or catered by the respective company itself and does not go to Sony Japan. So moving on. Basically, just a summary. So it began in 1946, which started again, as I mentioned, Tokyo Sushin Kogyo, and they romanized their name to better market themselves. Sonus, which is the Latin word for sound, and also Sonic. And then Sony Corporation of America was founded in 1960, which became the first Japanese company to trade shares in the New York Stock Exchange. And Sony purchased CBS Records in 1988, and Columbia Pictures Entertainment and TriStar Pictures in 1989. And lastly, the Walkman, compact disc, and PlayStation were launched in the 90s. So I'll pass it on to Trina.
So guys, these are some of Sony's subsidiaries in the media industry. So they have TV and film as well as music. So the most notable obviously be of course TriStar Pictures, Columbia Pictures. They also have Animax, AXN, as well as Sony Classics. On the music side, however, they are the world's largest music. They're the second world's largest music label in the world. So there's Sony Music, there's Psycho Music, as well as Sony ATV Music Publishing, which is the world's largest music publishing company in the world. And they've also acquired the Bertelsmann's music group. So now they own RCA Records and Epic Records, which includes artists like Zayn, as well as Christina Aguilera, Usher, a lot of R&B artists are included in RCA. So on the other hand, let's look at how Sony has changed from the pre-internet era and the internet era. So in the pre-internet era, they were very focused on electronics, gadgets, and technological advances. So their first product that they ever made was actually the Sony Power Megaphone. Moving on to 1949, they made the world's first magnetic tape recorder, and in 1957, they created the TR-63, which was the world's smallest transistor radio, which kind of transformed the industry. It was the new benchmark of what radios should be. As well as launching a Sony Corporation of America in 1960, which kind of started their journey into expanding their business into more media and industry. So starting into the internet era, they started to really focus on media and music. So they started Sony Europe in Cologne, Germany in 1986, as well as acquiring CBS Records in 1988 and changed its name to Sony Music Entertainment in 1991. In 1989, they purchased Columbia Pictures and TriStar Pictures, as well as in 1995, they launched the DVD, which is the new format of how you're going to store information, as well as the Blu-ray disc. And they worldwide launched the PlayStation, which kind of revolutionized gaming culture. It changed how everyone consumes video games. And moving on, among the influences affecting Sony's globalization efforts, strategies on the social cultural level, is that Sony makes large expenditure on its marketing efforts. So they make sure that each individual market, such as each country, has their own unique marketing strategy. So, and that's to make sure that they have maximum exposure to their audiences. The films that they make under Columbia Pictures and TriStar Pictures are also very universal. They're often included in the list of top 30 highest grossing films and reach a global audience. Some of the films that you guys might recognize would be the Spider-Man franchise, the James Bond franchise, the Charlie's Angels franchise, as well as Jump Street. And some notable music artists that they have are Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, John Legend, and of course Adele. More active consumption, so that they choose what they want to watch. Instead of watching movies in the cinema, they have started to watch movies on Netflix. And instead of going out buying CDs, they now listen to Spotify and Apple Music. So now I'm going to pass it on to Tania.
And now I'm going to talk about the globalization strategies and the economics sector. Sony uses advantage of different countries for cheaper production for their prices. And films under Sony is filmed in different locations for efficient production. The countries they mostly use is Canada, and the cities they mostly use is Ashcroft, British Columbia, Montreal, and Toronto. The films which is shot in this location is The Interview, which shot in British Columbia. 2012 was shot in Ashcroft and British Columbia. Godzilla was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Resident Evil was filmed in Toronto. Not only that, under Sony Music, artist Adele's music video, which is viewed for 2.4 billion views, Hello was shot in Montreal. Sony's also practiced centralized production, distribution, and advertising in all its films. Does Sony practice globalization? That's right, it's yes. In Japan, the concept of global localization, or known as globalization, is often attributed to the Sony's corporation CEO Akio Morita. Globalization is when it adapts foreign subsidiaries to local circumstances and integrating cooperation. For example, movies. Movies are often have local subtitles on the base where it's released. For example, in Malaysia, they will have Bahasa Malaysia RBM and Mandarin subtitles. And not only that, Sony Electronics has a regional Asian headquarters in Singapore, which produces a smaller number of highly specific and specialized products for each individual market. And under Sony Music, they have AKB48 is a Japanese gold brand, which they have a sister company outside Japan, which is known as JKT48, which is in Indonesia, where they have adopted the same concept. However, they've incorporated their culture inside in the girl group itself. Here are the examples. As shown, there's the KB footage above, and below is completely different, where they have used the same concept and have 48 members from both of the girl groups. And an example for Spider-Man, they have used BM subtitles in the film, and the film Noah have both BM and Mandarin subtitles. Next is about how Sony has made a global impact. The world has considered sound and videos item, which is in sense general sense directed to Sony from the 50s to the 80s. Sony in the 70s, Sony has set TV worldwide standard for its quality, and the Walkman later on presented in 1979 again has changed the world in the manner of how people nation. During the 1960s, the punchline made in Japan was implied as reasonably low quality. However, in the 80s, it has implied inversely, where Sony items was most unmistakably reason for the change for today. Now I'm going to pass to Ella.
Hi guys, I'll be talking about the possible impacts of cultural imperialism. Despite Sony being a very strongly Japanese corporation, but Sony media products are also very distinctly Western. For instance, the spread of American culture in Sony is extremely hard. Like you can see, Sony has produced blockbuster movie franchises like James Bond and Spider-Man. Like, if you go around the globe, if you ask anyone who's Agent 007, everyone would know James Bond. And if you do this thing, everyone knows it's Spider-Man. Apart from that, Sony Music also produces the world's second largest music label with artists in almost every genre. Like how Triona mentioned, we have Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, and basically any famous artist you name it, they are known to be from Sony. Apart from that, when it comes to gaming industry, Sony has revolutionized the gaming industry world. Like, as you can see, from the Game Boys to the PSP and PlayStations. Like, last year Sony has stopped their final PlayStation 2, and not because it's the end of the PlayStation era, because Sony is about to launch their new PlayStation, which is the PS5, anytime soon. Okay, now we'll talk about reaction to cultural imperialism. Some people have taken this negatively. For instance, let's talk about the movie The Interview in 2014. The movie had very negative comments towards it because it kind of jeopardized the relationship between the Americans and the North Koreans, because the movie mainly is about assassinating the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. So that movie caused a lot of controversy to the point where they had to stop it from filming in the cinema. But although they stopped it from wide release, the movie became Sony Pictures' highest grossing film online. And that is not something which is very common to happen, because that's online. Okay, next, Malaysian curbing measurement towards cultural imperialism. As we all know, FINAS, which is the central government agency for film industry in Malaysia. So FINAS has this thing called Scheme Wajib Tayang, which is so Malaysia is very strict censorship law. As you can see, Malaysia was ranked 146 out of 180 countries in the Worldwide Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders. On the freedom in the World Index, graded on a scale 1 to 7, 1 being the most free and 7 being the worst, Malaysia has been ranked at number 4. And again, now for the conclusion. With a history of over 70 years, Sony has successfully entered the global market. Like anywhere around the globe, you name it, from the African continent, South American, or North America, Asia, Europe, everyone knows Sony for who they are. Sony has production and research development because of its huge network in Japan, United States, and other countries. Although we know Sony as a company that is from Japan, but Sony is as big as Japan as in the United States. And when it comes to video games, you all know like Sony is the one that we all should go to. And The reason for Sony's success story, I would say, is because to this great person called Akio Morita. To form a worldwide network of subsidiaries under one company name and make it seem a whole family is not possible if you do not carry a certain spirit with you. Like, he was the one who managed to motivate these people to use Japanese management strategies, and also he managed to place them all around the world. And now I'll pass it off to Shafika for the game session.
Alright, so looks like you guys are all quite hungry now. So we're gonna have a very short game session, and if you guys answer correctly, you guys can get some candy biscuit. So question number one, which of these artists is signed under Sony?
Adele.
Oh, okay. Which one of the production company is under Sony?
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone gets candy.
When was Sony established? Who said that? So Rachel. What was the name of Sony before it was Romanized? I said it twice. Was that correct?
Yeah, the sour candy is extremely sour.
What is Sony's current slogan? Current slogan. Sorry?
Make up the
No. Literally the old one. Current one. It's like they always
current one.
try to rebrand themselves.
What's that? What's the third one? I haven't seen.
It's
Evil.
yeah, it's removed. It's just so basically Sony just rebrands itself and have new slogans for every year. So 2009 it's Be. So how much did Sony make from 2017 to 2018? Yes. They made quite a lot. Yeah, so they made 78 billion. So name 3 subsidiaries of Sony. Basically all subs at Sony now. Just one.
2 more.
2 more. Okay. Last one. You know what I did. So when was Sony Corporation of America founded?
1960.
Alright. So yeah, 1960. So when did Sony acquire CBS Records?
Someone mentioned this just now. Pretty good.
So it wasn't the 80s, so all the 80s, but
Miss, you're part of the game.
yes.
Anybody want to guess?
Like basically it's easy.
Yeah.
Alright, so last one. So the Ministry of Finance implemented a regulation to prioritize local trips. What is this regulation?
Hello just mentioned
Yeah,
that.
handicap.
True, but what is the name of?
Yeah, what's the name of the regulation?
3 words.
Keep looking at
Yeah.
Yes. We have mandatory screening, SIM or SIM multiplier. So yeah, thank you so much for